hope you're ready to go down a nostalgia trip with me, because I can guarantee 99% of you aren't going to remember this. Because it's kind of obscure, but it was the Palace chat. And I remember spending tons and tons of time just sitting on there, making different avatars, talking to random people. And there was one specific place that I did hang out, and we'll probably go into that a little bit later. But I can't be the only one that was on this. So I got curious and started looking it up. Does the Palace still exist? It does, but it's absolutely not what it used to be. When it first came out, it was like rooms full of people. If you go on Wikipedia, you can read a little bit about it, and this is where I started learning more. I'll just read you some of it. The Palace is a computer program to access graphical chat room servers, called palaces, in which users may interact with one another using graphical avatars overlaid on a graphical background. The software concept was originally created by Jim Baumgartner and produced by Time Warner in 1994. Okay, right off the bat, I did not know that at the time. Honestly, I didn't even know it was connected to anything. Which I was a kid, I didn't really think about it. First opened to the public in November 1995. While there is no longer any official support for the original program, a new client has been developed. Many chat servers are still operating and can be found on the Palace Portal Live Directory.
What we're trying to do with the Palace is actually connect people up with other people. An avatar is your representation of yourself as you go online. Since obviously you can't take yourself with you as you go on the internet, it's what you want yourself to look like to other people in the online environment. So it can be a picture of yourself that shows up, or as you see on the screen here, it can be a number of different characters that you would have created and chosen for your representation. We're represented by this little bubble up here called Gary W. And what I'm going to do here then is connect up to something which I have an interest in, which is good music. And we're going to go into the House of Blues Palace. Okay, so there's 6 of us together in the room. The other thing that you'll find is people can set props in the room. So if I click on the guitar, I get a little bit of sound that'll come back. And all this is done by the people that designed the site. So, and again, we can have conversation with everyone in the room. So anything I type now, everybody can see. If I click on one person in particular, like I'll click on Big Dog up here and say, "Hi, Big Dog. What kind of music do you like?" He says, "I like rock and roll." You're in the wrong place.
I decided to do a little research on it, and I'm actually finding stuff out that I didn't know at the time, which I probably would have never even thought of looking it up. Being a kid, I was just jumping in and just talking to random strangers on the internet, which is probably not a good thing, but I was doing it anyways because it was the 90s. The Palace's popularity peaked around 1999 and 2000, when nu metal band Korn had their own Palace chat room that fans could download from their official website. Palace's popularity at this time could also be attributed to a Palace which focused on the cartoon South Park, as well as the Sci-Fi Channel's mothership Palace. There was even a link to the South Park Palace on the Comedy Central website at the time. Now, okay, I didn't know South Park had one, and I also didn't know Korn had one. I did know about the Sci-Fi Channels, and I remember going to it the first time, and I guess they must have stopped doing any kind of support for it around this time, because I went to the Sci-Fi Channel's Palace maybe once, twice, found my way back to the Sci-Fi Channel's Palace, which at that point, Sci-Fi Channel didn't have anything to do with it. They dropped it, they cut it off, it was done. However, the people that were moderating the mothership brought it back themselves and called it the Mothership 2. which unfortunately, and I was really hoping it was still around because I wanted to do like a little walkthrough of it, because it was actually really cool, because you can go through one door and it was like this labyrinth and you had to just guess which way to go. And I was going to see if I could still find my way back to like the little secret hidden room. Anyway, it sucks that it's gone, and I really wish it was still there. But maybe one day we'll have a Mothership 3.
Couple hours a day. So that's pretty typical, actually, of the people in this environment. People range from getting online and just going and exploring some of these sites to some people actually spend considerable time, and this is a lot of their social interaction, is being able to go in with a group of friends now that have built up in a community that happens to be on cyberspace as opposed to maybe down on the main street. But it's a way for people to be able to get connected, especially even folks that maybe are geographically dispersed or somewhat separated. Maybe they can't get out as easily. This gives people an easy way to get connected. All right, let's ask him, why not go out and talk to real people? They're not as attractive as Flavio. His voice comment. I'm too fat to meet people, which I happen to know is not true. There will always be people that will say technology is going to be abused and is not making the right things happen in society. But one of the things I think that is healthy about this is it does give people a chance to interact with other people, and not necessarily just people that are located in the same geographic area that you are. You can get online here and talk with another child from Sweden or Brazil or something like that. So it expands people's view of the world, I believe. And right now what we're actually finding is what this is taking time away from in a lot of cases is television or some of the other more traditional forms of entertainment or media. And I think from that perspective, it's good for people to have a variety of different kinds of experiences.
The Palace was the subject of a number of sales between companies until 2001, when OpenText Corporation purchased the rights to the Palace software and technology as part of a bankruptcy settlement. The software is currently unsupported by OpenText or any of its previous owners, and many members of the community now provide unofficial support for existing versions. The original thepalace.com domain was bought by a longtime Palace user and is now used as a directory for other sites. So I decided I would download it and just kind of look around, see if there's people still around. And I found people. However, you'll be lucky to find somebody talking. As you can tell, there's not a lot of, it's just a lot of people just sitting idle, which was the same way back in the day. Like, a lot of people would just sit in the room and never talk. I don't know why, but yeah, that's what's happening right now. So I went to a couple different rooms, nothing. Occasionally you can find somebody talking, and I did a couple times. However, like, one of them was a Spanish speaking room, and I can't speak Spanish, so I did my best impression of speaking Spanish and got a little ways, but not very far. But then you find the ones that's speaking the same language as you, and you know, I hung out for a little bit and went back to my normal regular day life. I imagine a lot of people just stopped going in chat rooms, mostly because of social media and different outlets. Like, now you have Discord, Snapchat, Facebook, but I guess the new version of chat rooms is like VR chat, which is, in a sense, like an upgraded version of Palace, except everything's virtual reality. It's like you're actually there. It's almost the same concept, what they wanted it to be, but now we actually can do that. Anyway, thanks for going down this road with me of nostalgia that I'm pretty certain nobody remembers other than maybe me and a handful of people that's watching this video. If you actually do remember Palace and used it, just leave a comment down below. Alright, thanks for watching.